What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Dillian, the Body Snatcher Whyte. We know that there is a possibility, according to John Fury, that Tyson Fury may postpone the fight or cancel the fight or postpone again, right? Because of the condition of his newborn daughter, which you guys know how I feel about that. That's his family. When you're dealing with family, other issues, there has to be something more important than your job, okay, or your profession. You know, at some point, something can transpire in your life that makes you bring everything to a screeching halt, and I believe this is it. This is one of those things. So no, I don't question. I don't deny. I'd have no problem with that, because at the end of the day, family's first. Because at the end of the day, what the hell are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it? You know what I mean? Like, what are you really going to the gym for? You know, working out, training to bring someone else to their destruction and vice versa to the other opponent. What are you really doing that for? If somebody is at home, sick or not well enough to take care of themselves. And remember something about Tyson Fury. He was in that same situation as a child. So, you know, it's definitely the empathy factor is very high on his situation, you know. So saying all that to say this, what should happen? Okay, what should happen? The fight shouldn't be postponed any longer. They should approach it just like the Ugas or the Errol Spence Pacquiao situation, where Errol Spence had to have surgery, so he stepped out. Ugas stepped in. Why? Because he was fighting that day anyway. On top of that, he is the WBA champion, so Manny Pacquiao was the WBA champion, so they can fight for that belt. Why not? So that should transpire, but instead, Dillian Whyte, being the WBC interim champion, should be the guy to fight for the WBC. Because also this is an obligation to fulfill the mandatory for the WBC. Okay, and Tyson Fury has taken a long time through everything else that he's done, from COVID to negotiations with Anthony Joshua to preference not even to fight Deontay Wilder. During all that changes in decision-making on his behalf, he was waiting and holding up the WBC strap. So since that's the case, he has a major emergency. Dillian Whyte should step in. So speaking of Dillian Whyte, I did talk briefly to his coach yesterday, Xavier Miller, and this is what I asked Xavier Miller.
What's the condition of Dillian Whyte right now, Mr. Coach Miller?
We're always ready.
There you go. Well, but if you're always ready, you know, let that happen. And I think that should happen. And honestly, I think it's a better fight because it's fresh. It's new. Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have DW versus DW. And let's get it on.
So, as you heard Coach Miller state that Dillian Whyte's always ready. Okay, and then, of course, that's exactly one of the reasons why he was the first to come off the redemption list. Why? Because he showed me that he stayed in shape between fights. He didn't get all orca fat. He didn't look like the Black Michelin Man like he did against Marius Walk, right? He didn't look that way. He looked like he was in great shape. He trained his ass off for this fight. He looked good in the last fight. The only problem is he took an L, okay? You know, that was the only problem. And he was on the redemption list before then. Okay, so you know what I mean? But he's off the redemption list due to his condition, his physical condition. And if he's already ready, and you know, I think that's a perfect opportunity for Mauricio Suleiman to do the right thing. Bring Dillian Whyte in that fight with Deontay Wilder. Let's get that rivalry started, because you don't know what the hell's going to happen in that fight or what could happen in that fight. This is the heavyweight condition and division, right? And I feel that at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder could do massive numbers. Dillian Whyte is the guy that has been waiting for the opportunity. This should be a way that Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder could fight someone else to see where they are really together as far as the relationship between trainer and fighter really goes. You hear them talk and they look and they appear very nice and gel together, but you won't know that until they get in the trenches, until they get on the battlefield. Okay, you won't know that. And this is a perfect situation. This is the perfect time for those guys to get it on. Xavier Miller, Coach Miller, he says that Dillian Whyte's ready. So Deontay Wilder's ready. So why not have that fight? Now the question is, will that fight or can that fight take place? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson Fury possibly postponing or canceling the fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.